Hello everyone, this is the day 2 of the Flow Designer training. In this day we'll talk about that how we can use the Flow Designer for a particular catalog item. So in the past day we talk about that what is the Flow Designer, how we can use the Flow Designer and the Flow Designer basic component. In these sessions we'll talk about that how we can create a Flow Designer for supporting catalog item. So for that, what are the steps we are going to do that? We are going to take the 6 steps. The first steps is that we are going to create a simple catalog item and then we are going to attach this flow designer to the particular catalog item. Then we'll get the catalog item variable and based on the certain conditions we are going to generate some approvals. We are going to set the stages and then finally we are going to uh, generate a catalog task. Once that catalog task is completed, we are going to end this flow designer. So this is our task today. So let's go to the Servicenow instance and complete this task. So this is our developer instance. The first thing is that we are going to create a catalog item. To create a catalog item, I am going to scat item and I am going to fast forward because in this catalog item we are just creating a simple catalog item with one single variable called yes no. So this is the catalog item and in this catalog item, I do have only one variable which called the manager approval required. So which is yes and no, this type of drop down value. So what is our requirement is that let's say that somebody select that yes, what will be happen? It will go for the manager approval and once the manager approve, it will go for the catalog task creation. If somebody selected no, what will be happen? It will skip the manager approval and it will go for that direct catalog task creation. So let's build that into our flow designer. So first thing I'll go to this flow designer and here you can see that we have options called create new options under this flow tab. So if you are in a different tabs or anywhere, you can go to the flow tabs and then here you can click the create new button. Once you click the create new button, you have a 4 option flow, subflow, action, data stream. For the time being, we are creating a new flow. We'll select the flow. Once I select the flow, you can see there is a pop-up came up. Let's say that I'll say that demo class flow, something like that. Anything you can put that meaningful name. So I'll put that demo class flow. Now here you can put the description for more meaningful. Application will be global application or whatever application you are. The protection which help you to make it read only for next environment or not. So I'm not changing anything. Here we have a one option called run as and you can select, you can see there is two options. One is the user who initiated the session or system user. It means that who raised the request, the flow will be run on behalf of them or else the system user. Normally, the workflow run as a system user, so I'll select the system user. Depending on your use case, you can change that even. So I'll click the submit button. So once I click that, you can see that our flow is created with the name of called demo class flow, which is right now in inactive state. We have to select the trigger condition. What is our trigger condition? Whenever this catalog item demo flow designer will be ordered, at that moment, this flow should be triggered and it should perform certain action. So first thing is that we'll select the trigger condition. I'll click the add trigger. And here we have options called application. We'll select the application. And then I'll select the service catalog. Once you select the service catalog, you have advanced options. And here you can change this type, but it is not necessary. So I'm not changing anything. I'll simply click done. So we have defined the trigger condition. Now we have to define that what we need to be performed, right? What actions we are going to perform. First thing that we have to check what is the value user selected, like user selected yes or no. Based on that, we should do some action. To get this variable value, we have to click this plus sign and then you can see once you click the plus sign, you have a 3 option, flow, actions and flow logic. So we'll click the actions and once we click the action, you can see there are multiple spoke already installed and based on that, there are certain actions. So these are the actions created by out-of-box Servicenow. So if I select the Servicenow core, you can see these are the actions which is provided by Servicenow by default. So if I go to this all these actions, we need to be find out that get variable option. So let's see, under this service catalog module, you can see the get catalog variable option is there. I'll select this get catalog variable actions. Once we selected the get variable catalog actions, the first mandatory field is that submitted request. So we need to be select that submitted request, which is nothing but the first trigger condition. So I'll click this pillar icon and then select this call service catalog, and then I'll select this requested item one. So this mandatory things gone. Now we have to be select the template, or maybe for which catalog item we are building this flow. So our case, the catalog item name is called Demo Flow Designer. We'll copy this one and paste under this here. Once I selected that, all the variables or variable set attached to this catalog item will be visible. For our case, we have only one variable which is showing right now, and we have to be move this from available to the selected whatever variables we need to be used in our action. So I'll select the manager approval, and from the available I'll change to the selected. So it means that this variable is right now available in our flow. Now we have to check the value, right? We have to check that what is the value of this one. If it is yes, we should generate approval. If it is no, we should generate bypass that, right? So let's click here, and then I'll select the flow logic, and here you can see once you select the flow logic, there are various flow logic is there, like if, else if, else, for each, do following, until, do parallel followings, make decisions, wait for a duration, end flow, dynamic flow, all these are available. So for the time being, we'll select the if logic. So we are checking that the value is yes or no, right? How do we get that? So from here, from these actions, we'll get the variable value called yes or no, right? For that, I'll click this pillar icon and then click get variables, and you can see I am able to select this manager approval variable, and which is nothing but return true or false or yes or no. So I'll select this manager approval variable, and here is the value yes or no is showing. So let's say hypothetically if it is yes, what will be happen? It should go to the manager approval, right? So I'll click done, and then what will be happen? It should go to the manager approval. So what I'll do a manager approval. If it is not yes, so if it is not yes, what will be happen? It should generate a catalog task, right? So I'll click again here and then go to the flow logic and select else, and you can see that the top I'm getting the variable. First it is yes, it should run this block. If it is else, it should run this block. So this is how I can define that. Okay, so let's say that in the first case, if it is yes, I should generate a manager approval, right? So I'll click this plus sign and go to these actions, and I need to generate a approval. So I'll go ask for approval this action. Under this Servicenow core, I'll select ask for approval. And once I select this ask for approval, you can see that I need to be select the record. For which record I want to generate the approval. I want to generate the approval for this SCREQ item table. So I will select this from here, trigger and requested item. So once I selected that, by default you can see SCREQ item table is selected. Now here is the thing, we need to be define that approval rule, like all these users should be approved or any particular user should be approved. Let's say that I'm saying that it's a manager approval, so it means that definitely the approver will be one person, and if that person approve, it should go further, right? I'll select the choose approval rule, and then here I'll select anyone approves. It doesn't matter actually, either anyone approve or all the member approves, right? So here once we selected that, what will be happen? Let's say that I want to generate a manager approval, right? So how do we know that who is the manager or to whom manager approval should be generated? Whoever is created, their manager should be go for the approval, right? So I'll select there here. I mean, I can select particular user. Let's say that it has to be a particular user. Let's say that able tutor needs to be approved. I can select that, or else from here .work we can do and select the particular user. For the time being, I have selected the fixed user called able tutor, and that able tutor has to be approved, right? So I ask for the approval. Okay. So what happened once this flow will be executed, it will go for ask for approval and it will be hold or it will be pause. Okay. Once somebody approve, the certain thing will be happen. If it is rejected, something will be happen. So let's say that I have to check that somebody approve or not, right? If it is rejected, some different thing will be happen. If it is approved, some different thing should be happen, right? So I'll go here and then click again flow logic and then I'll select if. What is if? If manager approve. So I can put the notation also for better understanding, right? Here I'll select what I am going to check. I am going to check that manager is approved or not. So when or which step the approval action happen, ask for approval is the actual section where approval happen. So I'll select the ask for approval and then I will select that approval state. What is the approval state? Is it approved or is it rejected or is it, what happens actually? I can check that. So I'll select that, is it approved? If it is approved, I want to do certain thing, right? If it is not approved, I want to do certain thing, right? So I am going to select that it is, if it is approved, then I want to generate a catalog task, right? So if it is approved, I want to generate a catalog task. So I'll go select again Servicenow core and scroll down under the service catalog. You will be able to see that create catalog task. I'll select that. And here we can select again this service catalog. What should be that, on which table this task will be generated? Under sc underscore task table. What should be the short description? Let's say that paste catalog task. This should be the short description. And if you want to set the assignment group, you can select that assignment group. Let's say that I want to set the assignment group called something called database team. So the database team will be assignment group. And if you want to select all this variable to be visible there, we need to be select the catalog item. So let's say that our catalog item name is called demo flow designer, and this variable should be visible under catalog task. We can select that and simply done. If you see this flow high level, this flow is triggering based on the service catalog, and then first we are getting the variables. If the variables value is yes, we are going for approvals. If these variables let's say that no, then here we need to define the condition. So if it is no, then we are going to generate a catalog task also. So simply you can click that plus sign and then we can bring this to here. So let's say that if it is no, then also we are going to generating the catalog task. So if it is yes, we are asking for approvals and then somebody approved, then we are generating catalog task. If it is no, then we are generating the catalog task. Let's say that manager rejected. So let's say manager is approved, that's fine, we are generating the catalog task. If manager rejected, what will be happen? We are going to change these states. Let's say that close incomplete, that state we are going to update that. For that, what we can do, we can have options called update record. We can select that here, and once we select this update record, we can select this from this data pillar. We can select this requested item, and then here we can say that state is close incomplete. Let's understand one more time. Catalog item race, we are getting variable. If it is manager approval, yes, then it will go for approval. If it is no, it will directly generate a catalog task. Once our approval is approved, what will be happen? It will generate a catalog task. Let's say that approval did not approve. It will be set as a close incomplete. And once our catalog task is done or catalog task is completed, we can just end our flow. So we'll select that flow logic and then we can select that end flow. We can define that. So this is our flow end process. Similarly here, this is our flow end. We can select that flow end, and here we can also select that flow end. Okay, Alright, so our flow is defined here. We can just activate that flow. We click that activate and this flow will be activated. Once flow is activated, you can copy this flow name and go back to this catalog item and then attach this flow to this catalog item. So we'll configure this, go back to this process engine, and here we can select this flow name and simply save that. Now, once we try it right now, or once we try to order this catalog item, we will be able to see this flow is executed. So first thing, we are selecting the manager approval is yes, and simply click order now. It's generate request. Under this request, we should have RITM. And this RITM actually pick the flow. And you can see it's generate first a manager approval. We have statically set that able tutor. Once we approve that, it will generate a catalog task. So let's approve that. We'll go here and then we'll approve that. Before approve that, you can see that the stage is called request approve. Before approve that, you can see that the stage is called request approve. We can also update the stage from the workflow also. I'll show you that. So let's say that I'm going to approve that request first. So once we approve that, as per our expectation, it should generate a catalog task. So we just approve that and it should generate a catalog task. You can see the database catalog task is generated and stage is again the same stage, right? So the stage is, so RITM stage did not update it. We can update also the stage. I'll show you that. And let's say that once we close complete this task, so this is the task which is generated and you can see, and we can simply close this task. So once we close this task, you will be able to see that if I update that, refresh that RITM, let's see what is happening. Still our RITM did not close completed, right? So we just need to be update that. So two things. First, we need to be update the stage and we need to be close complete our, here the stage should be close complete, right? So that we need to do that. We'll go back to the flow designer again. Here we can click these options and then click the flow stages and then we can define the stages. We can select that and then from the template we can add the stages. So we'll select the request item and click add stages and you can see these are the stages which is available for that requested item. Even if you want, you can add your own stage. So I'll simply save that. And our criteria is that whenever somebody asks for the approval, it should be stage should be set as call. You can see here we can set the stage, which the stage should be for request approval. So request or maybe waiting for approval. So whenever it will go for ask for approval, it will be waiting for approval. And then whenever it will go for, let's say that whenever it is generate a catalog task, so it should be called fulfillment stage. And after this completion of that, we should, complete that, right? So the stage should be, complete stage. And here we should add something called another extra. Here we can just select that actions called update record. So we'll select that called update record here. And then we'll update that called close complete. So we'll select here trigger condition requested item. And then our state should be close complete, done. And then this stage will be, let's say that our stage should be complete stage. So we'll select that complete. And here after that we should be end our flow. So we'll say that end flow and activate again. So every time you change that, you should activate that for the latest changes. So our flow is updated right now. What will be happen? Whenever our flow will be generated or selected as a yes, it will go for that approval, ask for approval. And once it is go for ask for approval, the stage will be waiting for approval. Then it will go to the catalog task, and then it will be, after that it will be close complete. Let's go back and raise the request here. Again, I'm going to generate this with the ES, and once we click order, it should generate a request. Go back to the RITM. And here we go. You can see the stage is right now waiting for approval. It's showing. And then it's generate a approval. We'll approve that first approval. Once we approve that, it should generate a catalog task. So you click that, it's generate a catalog task. We'll close this catalog task. Once it is closed, it should update the state equal to close complete. And so once we select that close complete, you can see stage is completed and state is close complete. The way we see the workflow context, you can see the flow context. You can click this flow context and you will be able to see that what is happening into the flow. You can see that. And once it is loaded, you can see that it's not showing anything because there is a property that needs to be updated. Once this property is updated, then only you will be able to see that actually the flow context. So what I'll do, I'll copy this property name, and go to this sys properties table. And update this property value to see the flow context. So I'll put this, and you can see once we open that, there are it is a choice type. Right now the value is off. You can select the flow, you can select action, you can select on, or you can select that trace. So anything you can select that. So I'll select that at that moment on and save that to see the flow. So I have selected that on, and if I refresh that, let's see what happens. I think I need to raise the new request, or let's see, is it showing for old record also? You can see, so I need to raise a new request. So I'll go back here and I am going to raise a new request and see this is going to be show that flow context or not. So I'll click that open record, and this time I'll select no. As per, if I selected no, it should not generate any approvals. So order now, and then I'll open the RITM. And so you can see this is the RITM which directly generated the catalog task. It did not generate approval because we selected no. We click the flow context and it will show the context or which part is executed, which did not. So you can see the flow is right now waiting state. The first thing is that get catalog variable. This is completed, and then we have a one check where it should check that yes or no evaluate condition. This is false, so it is did not go to the yes part. It go to the else part, and under the else part we have options called create a catalog task, which is right now waiting stage. Once we completed this, let's say that I completed this task, this flow will be ended. So let's refresh that. You can see this flow is completed right now. So this way you can design your flow designer. Still, if you have any question, let me know in my comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.